Welcome everyone to Team Ambition's first podcast, the Talk Ambition, about their League of Legends teams. Today we're joined by me, Gigatron, being your host, as well as we have Deity and Manatsu, and we are joined special guests today by Moose. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good. I'm doing good, but yeah, this is first time with everyone here, so it's gonna be great. And I have a nice question for you guys. With our history of Team Ambition, if you had to make a team, no matter what rank they are, who would you choose? Whether it's current or previous players.
That's a good question. Does it include myself? Can I be in it?
You can.
Um, I can go first if no one has anything already made. So obviously I'll be playing mid because really the only role I can play. I think a top laner that I've not really played with before is Nodal, and I think it would be cool to play with him in the top lane. Jungler, I would like Buddha just because he was my coach for a season, but I haven't really played with him. So I think that
Buddha's
would be
stinky though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
true.
fine. We need one stinker in the
Ooh.
team. Everyone knows that. You're not successful unless you have one stinky person. So,
That's true.
AD support a bit of a toss up actually. So I feel like bot lane I feel like bot lane is the role where it doesn't really matter what your skill level is as long as you just don't die. So,
True.
who do I want?
It's always hard to choose, right? Like,
Yeah, it is.
You pick up like Dallas, maybe.
I guess. But I want all the attention to be mid lane, so I don't know if I want Dallas bot lane. You
Oh,
know what?
true.
You know what? I I'll get my boy no attack in AD, and then
Jason.
for support I'll have who do I want support? I had PVS support in a Clash game yesterday, and I thought he was pretty good, so I'll have PVS there too.
How did you guys do in Clash?
3-0, baby.
Whoa.
Ooh.
that's
Wait.
what we like to hear, man.
All right. Hold that thought though, because I'm a boomer and I've never I've never gotten a 3-0 in Clash. What did you go for a the super ticket, or was it just a regular ticket?
Nah. So the last time I won a Clash was like 2 years ago, I think, or last year. So I was like, I'm just gonna do a free ticket.
And what'd you win?
Uh, I got 2 skin shards and a couple of other neat stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I too am a boomer, so this was my highlight of the day.
Very cool. Very cool. But that's a decent team. I'm kind of worried about your top side though. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
it's a little weak, you know? Like you got the Zoomer energy.
Mhm. All right, I'll go next. My top lane. I'm just gonna go with people that I've casted with on the stream, or here in TA. So it's gonna be legit in the top lane. I know he's super inconsistent and kind of
Legit
sus.
quack.
Yeah, legit sus actually. But I'm gonna go with legit in the top lane. I'm gonna be in the jungle because I gotta carry. So because skill doesn't matter, I'll carry. I'll use my macro and my communication skills.
Moose
Um,
1v5.
Moose 1v5. In the mid lane was pretty tough, but I have to show some respect to Emma, because Emma's the Phil Queen. So I'm gonna go with Emma in the mid lane, and then I actually chose Dallas as well. Salad, the man, the myth, at the ADC role, and because I want a consistent Mountain Soul, I have to go with Turk in support, because it's always Mountain Soul, Mountain Rift when it comes to Turk. So I'm I'm super pumped for that. My team is unbeatable. You guys can't beat us, especially with Emma in the mid lane.
The Ari talent, Emma.
Yeah, Uh, Emma's too fresh, too good, too good.
Mhm. The fingers are just insane.
The hands, literally, like Emma has 15-year-old hands in a, oh god, how old is Emma? A 21-year-old body.
Wish you
I'm not gonna
were,
finish that
think.
one. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not gonna finish that statement. I know, right?
Um, I think I'll
Um,
introduce my team then at this point, since you got your ADC and you had your support, right? Who was your support?
Turk,
Oh,
right?
it was Turk.
Turk. Yeah, Turk is a crack player, but mine will not feature me on there. Not that I'm not good or that I don't have pride in myself, but I choose not to, kind of a thing. So my top, it was kind of hard to choose, but I like so many different top laners that we've had. I am gonna still go with um, Isaac. He's been really good. I love him. He's had a lot of range and branched out a lot, So I'm always happy to see him play. Jungle will probably be a bit bad, bad's a decent one that I love seeing. It was a hard choice between him and Annie. I love Annie, but Annie's gone on to another team for PG this split. Mid, I'm gonna go with. Oh, this mid was hard because no, that was easy. PBS easy. PBS is great between most of the lanes he chooses, whether it's that mid bot or support, and I like him because he's kind of that flex player, can bring in some ADs, those APs as well. Bot would be, yeah, bot I think I was struggling with. Oh no, that was easy. Stain was good. Stain has been really consistent, especially from Black the last split. Excited to see how this split's gonna go for him and everything. And I would round out with my support at Chickies, even though Chickies is no longer with us. He's still my boy, and I gotta praise and love him. He's doing the grind, this amateur scene. So hope he gets there one day. But yeah, that's gonna be my 5.
So it was super difficult, but it was actually really easy to choose.
yep.
It was easy, but yeah.
I
Pretty
mean,
sure my team is actually gonna be my starting roster for TA Divine because we're like super close friends. We're in VC like every day, all the time. It would be me top, Guster Posey jungle, Stibble or actual bird mid, Dilly ADC and Arrow support. My team's pretty stacked, and we're always in there watching Jason Kripp play random games on Steam in Hong Kong, or playing scrims or doing something stupid. It's really fun.
yo, Jason's sus now. He lives in
Yeah, bro,
Hong
he's been
Kong.
playing some sus games. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
Yeah, he came into went in Discord when he was in San Francisco, and he was talking about how cool he was, like leaving the US and going to a different country, and I was just like, bro, humble
weird
yourself.
flex, but okay.
Yeah, humble yourself. You're being ridiculous. What do you
Like,
what do you think is the most important part of developing a team? Because like you Didi were talking about, like, you wanted to have, like, you have your friends in there, and do you think playing with your friends is a boon, or do you think it helps to be a little bit more, or to be a little bit less acquainted? Like, would you prefer to play with maybe acquaintances rather than friends?
Well, see, when we met each other, we weren't friends. Like the team kind of had team bonding, and we became friends. But I think being friends with your teammates is really important because you can get through issues together, and like somebody gets mad, like you can be there from them. And like I feel like if you're all just acquaintances and somebody has having like really negative emotions on the team, it's a really bad look. But if like somebody's having it on a team where you guys are all friends, you can really just talk about it and just get better as a team and get through roadblocks like that a lot easier.
Fair. That's fair. I when I was a zoomer myself, because I was at one point young, um I was playing Heroes of the Storm, and I
Ooh.
got
Okay.
I got yeah. Flashback from the past, baby. Um I got really close with the team that I was playing with, and we did really well. Like we weren't like top of the HGC, but we were like the step right below it. But I got really close with some of the players there, and I think that I don't think I was emotionally mature enough at that point to really appreciate the people that I was with, and I think that cost me in the end because I didn't know how to handle when things went wrong. So I think it comes that emotional intelligence is somewhat important. And if you have that, then playing with your friends can be a really fun experience.
Agree with. I think as a boomer, I feel
Mhm.
like talking to people like during tryouts and really teammates too that are younger than me, like way younger than me. I mean, I had a teammate before who was a decade younger than me. Like you can really tell like the difference in terms of maturity levels and emotional intelligence. I think you're right. It's super important to have that. I think if you have that, then playing with friends is actually pretty beneficial.
I feel like
Yeah.
Gigatron's team is gonna need a babysitter or two for that jungle side of the game. Like
Yeah, it's bad.
hire a tutor, maybe a babysitter or two. You'll be set.
Wait, who's
He's a
the
little too young, but you know what? It's fine. He will grow up to be a great player one day, maybe.
One
I don't know.
day, as he outranks us all. Anyways,
Wait,
Um,
who's the most boomer person here, really quick? Is
I think
it
it's
is
me,
it
isn't it?
is it
I'm the
you?
youngest. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm
don't flex yourself, deity.
Yo,
You're
my
the
my
older
bad, bro. My bad.
right. Were you born before or after 2000? That's always the first question I ask.
Ooh.
I can't even believe that that's a question, bro.
Yeah, no,
Right,
I mean
I
young
know.
people are cropping up. You know what I
After
mean?
hem, excuse me.
Yeah, I see exactly. Look, that's this
Um,
guy.
Before.
as
Okay.
as as morbid as it sounds, and I guess that it dates me, is I more think of it as pre or post 9/11. Like if you remember 9/11, you're a boomer. If you
See, it's
can't
tough
remember
because
it,
I live
then you don't.
halfway around the country, halfway around the world. So I was actually asleep during 9/11.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember 9/11.
Interesting.
I was there, and I remember the day. But it's interesting now that you talk to people, and like there are probably people in this room that like just don't even remember it.
Some
But
people don't
I
even know what a landline is.
oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
What's
that's
what's
another one
a
I was gonna say. Yeah.
what's a landline, deity?
Nah, just kidding.
yeah,
Can we
Um,
move on to the next question?
yeah. Let's move on.
of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'll date myself. I'm old. I'm 31 next month, so I think I take the cake, don't I, Moose? I thought I was older than you. Can't
Yeah, no,
remember.
I'm 28. I'm not quite fossilized yet, but I'm getting there.
Wow, never
Yeah,
mind.
I'm
I'm
an
not
ancient
that
one.
old
I'll say
then.
that. I'm
Okay.
not
Aren't
fossil yet. I'm
calcified,
getting there.
You belong in a museum.
Yeah,
Damn.
damn. All right, I get it. Um, but yeah, I mean, the nice thing that's been kind of going on lately, though, is we've had MSI. We've seen one of my favorite teams being there, EG. Danny being one of those players that's been an amateur for a long time and now is on that professional team. Second split with EG doing really well. Fact that they're in this is just kind of crazy and unbelievable to believe. Moose, I think it's you and I that's been watching it the most. How do you feel about everything that's been going on?
Bro, my biggest thing that has been, I guess, my the biggest reward I would say has been the opportunity to see a bunch of different players come together and play at the international level in a live event. Like most of the games that have been played have been live in Korea, and there's a live audience there, and it's a different experience. Like the first real major live event that we had was the end of LCSNA, right? Like everything else before that didn't have that live audience. So a lot of these players maybe don't remember or never had the experience to play in a live event, and I think that that has hindered some of these teams. But I think EG has definitely made a name for themselves. They've shown that they have what it takes to make it even further than what they did in just regular, LCS, because, I don't want to I don't predict that they'll win. I think that there are teams that are doing exceptionally well. No
Mhm.
team is undefeated anymore, but there are players and there are teams that are playing exceptionally well. So, um, for EG to continue to have a shot in it is definitely very impressive. Very shocked to see G2 kind of, falter the way that they did though. That's kind of like a kind of thing, a question mark.
Yeah, because they've been doing so good. I mean, they've been undefeated all the way from playoffs in LEC all the way till now, and it's just crazy to see that they've dropped 2 games now. And I think it's okay that they're doing it. It's the same thing with SKT. SKT was doing well first round, the second round right now. They do have the loss and everything there. 2 losses with it, so it's kind of just surprising that. I mean, I don't mean to be mean about SKT, but I just feel like they've been a little sloppy. I don't know, with their picks, their plays. It's just not what we're used to. I feel like I feel like this is like such a different SKT compared to previous years.
It's fine. It's why we're here. It's why we're here. We're here for the spicy content.
And how many teams make it out of the Rumble stage? Top 4?
Yeah. So it's actually a really close one because I'm looking at the remaining schedule, and right now Evil Genius is at number 4, and really the only threat to that playoff spot is PSG Talent, and obviously, EG beat them in the first round robin, but I think it's really crucial for them to win the second round because EG has a tough schedule. Like tomorrow they're playing against T1 and RNG. So I don't know
Ooh.
what that's gonna do for their mental heading into day 5. Day 5 is when they play against PSG as well as G2. So it's gonna be pretty close.
Because you have to look at PSG has an easy one against Saigon. Unfortunately, Saigon is
Exactly.
just very weak,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
are playing against G2, which they have you know done well against G2. They already took a game off of them, so it's not like it's terrible from that standpoint. But I think that if G2 cleans themselves up, they could get that extra win that they need to try to contend against RNG, just because RNG it just seems like a very consistent team. They've been doing very well, even when they were in their spring split all the way till now. I mean, if I had to choose, like, I think RNG is basically going to be there in the end, but I would love to see EG be the top 4, even if they don't make it past 4th place. It just shows that, hey, an NA team is definitely doing good enough, but I'll be more surprised if they do even farther at Worlds later in the year if they make it.
Mhm. I just want to see the 0-6 again, dude. That's crushing, man. Oof.
How
It
do you
was
think PSG Talent feels right now?
True.
Like, it's just doing not great. I just said that PSG Saigon's just getting slaughtered right now. So um
Sometimes that's how it works though. Like you think you're gonna do well, but then you just kind of poop yourself. You get stinky on the main stage.
Yeah, I think the hope is, at least for me, is that one of these bottom teams wins it out. Because I think, what was it? all the past MSI champions are here, right? Like RNG, G2, T1. I think those three comprise of all the past MSI champions, if I'm not mistaken. And so obviously if you're a betting person, you're gonna bet for one of these three teams. So I think it would be really cool if VG or PSG or I mean I don't know how many outs Saigon has at this point, but for them to really make it to the finals and win this would be pretty cool.
I doubtful.
Very doubtful that Saigon gets there, but I think it's a good toss up between EG and PSG. Even if EG doesn't make it, again, it's just a good showing that Evil Genius is ready and here to take on Worlds later in the year. I mean, we've had crazy split for a spring here, and the fact that again they're only even, that's not bad. Going into the bracket of you're dealing with T1, Royal, and G2. I mean, these are the ones you're gonna have to deal with later in the year anyway. So if they can get some games here, I think against any of those three teams, it's really gonna help them kind of solidify some more confidence. Because, like you guys said, a lot of these players haven't really played on main stage, and with COVID, I mean, obviously it's been a struggle. Where now I'm hoping everything kind of takes a turn and makes things a little bit easier for people, for when it's these games being played. But Moose, I think you have something you wanted to show us, didn't you?
Yeah, we've got our fresh producer, content manager Emma, who's kind enough to make us our graphics and all that fun stuff. But I'm starting to get into some content creation, and I've been keeping track of the dragon tallies, right? Like, I think it's super interesting to see where the dragons are placed at right now, like where exactly are the Drake counts at, and it has been super inconsistent. They say it's a 20% chance for each Drake. MSI has been so weird. Throughout the first 3 days of Rumble stage, no Infernal Souls, no Infernal Rifts. We had 8 Hextech Rifts, and even before that, like in the group stage, there was only four or so Mountain Drakes, right? Like it was thank you. Like it was really, really weird. So like I know that it's a 20% chance, and luck is everywhere, but a lot of these teams, I think, looking at the consistencies that we've had, anything can happen, but it does feel like Hextech Drakes, Cloud Drakes have been, and they are, the most seen on the Rift, and just an interesting observation.
Exactly. I think here's one question I'm going to pose to you. And I think you know what I'm going to say. How would you feel if we had a Chemtech Drake actually, like, still in the game?
Ooh.
Like, kind of a thing. Like, how do you feel like this would just change up everything? Like, just take out the equation of, like, Scion and, like, all the people that can revive. Like, kind of a thing. Just take those champions out. Like, how do you feel about, like, that being potentially back in the game again? Or something similar to that effect, kind of a thing.
I mean,
Rengar would be the best champion ever. Every single time that
Welcomes.
souls up. Yep.
100%. Well, I think that would make sense. I don't think I think Chemtech Drake was removed prematurely. No.
Okay.
If Renata Glask could be introduced into the game, they can find a way to reintroduce the Chemtech Drake and the Chemtech Soul. 100%.
Yeah, I could see that kind of a thing.
Like what if their basic trait was like movement speed toward champions? What if it's something super simple?
Like Janna.
Like
kind of a thing.
Janna, like just kind of like when you're running towards champions, or as you're moving, you gain like a passive movement bonus as your Chemtech, and then your Chemtech Soul can still be the revive, and it or maybe it's like or maybe it's like Renata's W, where you like when you're about to die, you go into this like gray zone, and then you're able to come back into it. Like I still think that there's possibilities
I think
for
the problem with Chemtech, as you're describing it right now, it seems like the problem with it is that every aspect of it, the soul, the rift, the individual trait, I think it was just so much to balance. Like you couldn't just balance one thing; you had to balance all three. Like they didn't, I guess, didn't have a proper solution for all three. Because you were mentioning how, oh, if they fixed this individual trait, oh, they also fixed the soul. Also, if they fixed the rift too. I know you didn't mention it yet. You might have
Yeah, I was
talked
gonna say
about
we
it. Like,
haven't talked about that.
yeah, every single part of it was just giga busted. And so I would like to see it come back. Not not to where it was originally at though.
Sure.
theory craft for me then. What would be your Chemtech stuff? Like what's thematically appropriate for Chemtech, and what would you put your Chemtech Rift as? If you were a designer, like no holds bar.
Huh, no one really asked me this question. I think the rift is way too swingy, depending on the objective, right? The fact that your camouflage there is really terrible for a game that really prioritizes in terms of vision control.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has to go. That area can't be camouflaged at all. I like. So the problem is, right? Thinking about Chemtech, like, oh yeah, how about if you're in that field, you'll get a speed up. But that's kind of already what Cloudric does. So I'm
Sure.
trying to see like what something that kind of distinguishes. Maybe like these fields, instead of being faster, they're slower. But then it's like, man, I
Right.
as a gamer, I wouldn't want that to happen, right? That would make
No.
the gameplay feel bad. So I guess I need to think about, okay, what's something that's kind of fun? Because like I think a lot of people memed at the Hextech gates, but I love the Hextech gates personally.
They're really cool.
Yeah, if they didn't make the Hextech gates, the idea I thought of would have been like riot throws like in like vines that say let you go from like let you swing like closer to Drake so that you can hit that blast plant, or like you have more blast plants that would come up with that. I know it comes up naturally with Ocean Drake and everything, but I feel like that could have been like a cool idea of that where you have more movement abilities, kind of a thing, where you can get around that a little bit better. But now it's why with the gates. I think if it's something where like Grotto would have been a cool effect, but obviously that's doing the whole map. That's a little different. And even if you like put grounded on the soul, where like say like certain CC abilities put grounded there, that would be interesting. Like say you have like Singe fling you back, kind of a thing, and the moment you land on the ground, you're grounded. Like where like you can't flash, you can't get away as easily. Like I mean I know that's the idea of him, because he'll just put his toxic sludge down, but still it's something that I think would be cool as like an idea, like kind of a thing, or like
Yeah,
maybe like a seat, like a tenacity resistance. That
Tenacity
would be
resist would be pretty cool because the Mountain Drake is defensive. But I guess Mountain and Ocean are both defensive, but I think Tenacity would be cool.
nasty.
I was gonna mention how when you were mentioning about Renata, I don't know if I want it to be revived because I think it would be too strong, but I think a tempered down version of what they currently have would be great. Because the problem with the zombie interaction was that when you died, and I could be wrong, I need to double check this, but I'm pretty sure your abilities are refreshed, your items are refreshed. So like you could like die with a shield bow, and then when you revive, your shield bow would still be active, and so it's like even harder to kill you.
For
But I
I
sure.
could be
get that
wrong.
immediately. I get that immediately. I wouldn't even let that come back like that. Like if you're gonna do revive, you can't reset your items, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like
That's the part that I hated about Viego too. Because whenever Viego possesses someone, they get their items fully refreshed.
that's a champ I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
From a
Yeah.
I guess a casting standpoint, like I play it, kind of thing. Because I mean, come on, it's easy in solo queue. Why would you like if you understand the simple mechanics of him, you could get to like that gold plat. I feel pretty easy
Oh yeah.
between jungle and mid. Like it's just stupid simple because he's still buggy, he's still annoying, he's still one of those things that even like mid laners will still pick up just because of the fact that you're playing this. Well, this is easy for me to just take this and then you combine it with Silas, the other counterpart, like especially if there's a Malphite on the other side, it's just so silly, so dumb. It's like, okay, I'm annoyed with it, but that's why I just feel like we don't see him in amateur scene that much anymore. Like he was there for like a little bit after they like relieved the ban on him, but it still just seems not around. I guess that's why I just feel like I haven't really heard of him, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I think the Chemtech drag could have like so much possibilities. The thing I thought of when I like heard the name Chemtech drag, it'd be like the soul, like how it changes like an attribute on the rift, like mountain changes like he adds more, what's the word, like terrain to the map. I think Chemtech soul could, or like Chemtech drag being the one spawning, could like change all the jungle monsters. Like the blue buff would have like a little like cool like thingy on it, and it would have more resistances and it have like a little more health or something like that. And maybe the
Cool.
yeah, maybe the characteristic could also be like you give poison. If you get the soul, your damage is a little poison, like Twitch or Cassiopeia. That could be really cool. You give all the damage that people do, like just a little bit of poison. Maybe not like Twitch's level, but that
Like a
could be
little true damage, you're thinking?
yeah. hmm
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that work.
I'm reading the power of kill. When you kill Chemtech Drake, it says you gain a percent increased damage against enemies, with greater current health than you, which kind of sucked because if you're a tank, you don't get anything.
Right. It was
Yeah.
great for like Vayne, Twitch, like all. It was really an ADC and APC like.
Ogma.
Yeah, like Kog'Maw is like perfect with that. Like he just shreds people like crazy. It's just amazing.
I honestly thought that um
Oh,
the tenacity boost idea was actually really, really cool. Like that seems like a decent idea that every champion would enjoy, like
yeah,
regardless. So being able to go for something like that and having that available would be pretty clutch for anybody. But like I don't like I think that that's why Riot designers and like game designers in and of itself are somewhat really difficult to. They're difficult. It's difficult to please everyone. So you gotta take that. You gotta take everything that everyone does with kind of a grain of salt. But I digress. I think we got what. Uh, this is cool though. This is why podcasts are always great, because these conversations can go everywhere, and you can talk about a whole bunch of different topics, and it doesn't always have to be scripted. But
oh, and that's why I kind of like that. I had some questions like the Chemtech Drake. Like I thought that was a perfect one just because I'm like, this is something that I didn't even tell you guys ahead of time I was going to talk about. Like this, like some of the stuff I know I told you, but like this was something that was just left field that I just thought about. I'm like, wow, this is actually a good one. But as we kind of round out that though, I do want to talk about winter 2022. I mean, we've had some great teams, some not so great ones, unfortunately. But you know what? That's kind of expected with playing with like golds to master level, kind of a thing. How do you guys feel about how TA has done so far?
I think TA's done like very well in the higher like elos. I think TA Black won Runeterra Academy Senior and the Unified. What's the league for Unified? They
It's
won
UAL is the abbreviation, but it's
Unified Advanced League, right?
yes, I believe that's
yeah,
correct.
And TA
I only care
Prime.
about UPL, so
You're looking a stage higher, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
TA Prime also won Aegis Defenders League. So like the Diamond and the Masters teams did very well, but the gold teams fell like a little through. TA Revolution got third place in Runeterra Academy sophomore. I do believe TA Gambit got to quarters and they got to semis in Aegis Guardian League, we always got to, like, late in playoffs, but we just couldn't like get to the finals or win them. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really shocking to see, Gambit performed so well in AGL. They were one of the top teams in their division. I think they were the top team in their division and remained pretty undefeated throughout the play-ins to fall as, like, for lack of a better word, as disastrously as they did in finals was somewhat of a or in semifinals was somewhat of a shock. Like, it was not expected to not see you guys in the finals. So, um I don't like I know you guys have had probably time to talk about it, and you guys have probably had, plenty of opportunity to look back and you say, what did go wrong? Like, do you have any thoughts on that? Like, do you think it was lack of prep? Do you think you just didn't have, like, it wasn't your time? Like, I'm kind of curious what your thoughts on that are.
Um, I think like I think the competition was really good in these leagues. Like every single like season that comes by, I think we see better and better competition. And there were some like issues I think with rosters. I think Revolution had to go through a few players, so like they didn't really go with their starting lineup from tryouts. I don't think they played bad by any means. I think just the lack of like adaptability and I think maybe best of five experience got to the better of those teams. Because I think if they had like a little more experience, they played against teams that have been together for a long time. They probably could have taken the chip home.
Mhm. I think you bring up an excellent point in that there are sorry, it's the COVID cough. Um
Mhm.
um but I think you bring up a solid point about how there are some teams that are out there that have been solid, consistent teams for several splits. Like, have had the same members for multiple splits and multiple tournaments that now have not only the experience, but they've got the organizations and they've got the teams to back it up as well. So I think it's a really cool thing to see amateur teams and amateur organizations get present. Um, do
Yeah.
you think that, like, TA has grown so much since they started in, what is it, going on 2-3 years now, right?
Yeah, I think it's been about that.
I'm still fairly new. Well, let's be real. I'm still a zoomer when it comes to TA stuff. Um, has TA developed more into, higher level plays, or is it? Do you think it's still well rounded? I guess is the question, and that kind of, is going to segue into later topics. But
Sure. We'll keep it brief on that, I guess, at that point. Um, yeah, I mean, I look at like we'll take Prime for example. Prime has a lot of good players that they have either chosen to stay back here, with Diamond, or they have chosen to try to broaden their horizon and try to improve as players to get to that higher level. So I
Mhm.
think that's kind of what's the great opportunity for players is obviously it's their choice, but I feel like TA encourages that a lot. Like, hey, we want as much as we like seeing you here and like maybe winning championships, like from like that standpoint, we like to see you guys grow, and I think that's probably one thing I would definitely highlight very well about TA is they're very much about their players, trying to get them to get to a higher level if they aren't already at that point.
Sure, I agree, and yeah, I think it represents a lot of players that do stay with with the org for multiple splits.
I mean,
Um,
like I could say spoiler. Spoiler. We have 3 PG teams, so I think that's a big improvement compared to normally having one.
yeah, no, 100%. And I think TA should be proud of that. Um, as we move into summer 2022, there's a ton of I think that there's expectations. And and like my hot take is that TA in general I think performed well in 2022. They performed better in higher divisions, and they left a lot to be desired in their performances in the lower brackets, right? Like I think that there was this expectation that TA was going to come in, they were going to, I think perform a lot better, especially in the gold and platinum divisions than they did. Um and that's not to say that, semifinals showings you know, isn't bad, because it isn't. It's good to be able to get to that semifinal point, but in order to make money in a lot of these teams, you have to be able to make it to grands. So, I think moving into 2022, I think we all want to see TA just pop off, right? And I think that there's that expectation that they will be able to do that.
Yeah, as I believe I told Deity earlier in the week as he was talking about his games. I would like to see TA teams clap some cheeks and let's get some good tweets out because of it, because of the fact that it just seems that they've put on a couple of stacked rosters. Like I said, for PG, I know we'll highlight them later, but the fact that we see a lot more teams now, just kind of rising, and I feel like they're at that point where they can command and do a lot. So
I certainly feel like the quality of TA teams is going up, like along with the competition, obviously. But we're definitely seeing better and better teams every split, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for TA.
same. I mean, I can't wait to see what stuff tomorrow going on with PG, with how these gold leagues and everyone else is going to be doing. So, but yeah, what's any other thoughts you guys have on our winter split?
I think for me, it's just I think with the rise of, because I'd say there are more and more organized. There are more organizations that are kind of supporting competitive teams, and I feel like a lot of people have like this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of teams, when they see like, oh, we're against a team ambition team, because they're so organized, because they're under a banner, we have to like try even harder to beat these people. I feel like that's like something that's I feel like occurring really in any amateur leagues. So I feel like even though we didn't do that well, I mean we still uh are teams where others will look at and say, hey, we really need to try our best to beat them. Like it's like no joke, even if like a team ambition team is not doing so well, there's still preparations that have to be involved. So
Hey, that actually brings up a decent question for Deity here, because Deity was a player in those teams. Like like do you think that TA has clout, and how does that affect your play, and how do you think it affects how other teams played against you?
Well, I do definitely think TA is clout. Like, I see a lot of memeing of like TA as an organization, but I just think that goes to show like how people perceive TA as threats. And as a TA player myself, I think that like kind of puts like a little bit more of a burden on my shoulders. Like, I have an expectation to perform because I'm playing on a good org, right? And I like for me at least that drives me to be a better player, to just perform better on game day. I think it makes things a lot more exciting playing on like such an organized like team and under the banner, as Gigatron said previously.
Yeah, I mean the banner is always kind of good, and I think that's something that TA's been doing well. It's like seeing all these other teams, like even when you talk about like other games, like you'll see like C9, TSM, all of them change around. But uh this is why I'm excited to see our new rosters that we're gonna bring out. So without further ado, I will let Dee start with our gold rosters.
Mhm.
I'm gonna bow out right here. Let you guys go with it. Uh, like I stated earlier, I am. Oh, I have the COVID cough. I am the resident diseased person here right now. But this has been a ton of fun, and I appreciate everyone stopping by. We'll do this again, and looking forward to the next chapter of TA. We'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, Nimbus. See ya.
Thanks for joining us.
Um, so for some summer 22 teams that we're going to be announcing today, the first one is TA Wooper. The top lane is Napquan, jungle Beanie, mid Ishan, ADC B-Pots, and support Ultra. Their coach is Snowlife, and they'll be participating in the Aegis Guardian Division League, which I think that's a gold league. This team has been in the works for a while. Like they've been scrimming a little bit, a few months before, and I'm really excited to see what they're gonna be able to pull off. Cause I've scrimmed them before, and they look like they seem to be a really solid team, and I think they can get really far in Aegis. Um, the next gold team we're announcing is TA Breeze. The top lane for TA Breeze is CH Gaming. The jungle is Stone Made Soft. Mid is Chinese Spy. AD carry is Yoey, and support is Dark. They're coached by Jer, and they're also playing in the Aegis Guardian League. I'm scrimming these guys tonight, so I don't know too much about them yet since they're a fairly new team. But I'm excited to see how it goes, and I think they're also gonna perform really well in Aegis. The gold team I'm on, Divine, which I'm the top laner for, we have Guster Posey jungle, Sybil mid, Dilly ADC, and Arrow Cross is our support. Our coach is Jason Stinky5, and we're currently playing in the Victor's Amateur Series League, and we're up 3-0 right now. Something I wanted to touch base on is the amateur world's gold division, and they recently just finished their group draw. The 8 representatives are currently on CB Azibi, CB Ibiza, Mint Gaming Rocky Road, 2 Rising Tide teams, I don't know their names, and um, I believe the Risen representative is Kitchen, that's their name, Imperial Gaming, and TD. The group stages look to be fairly competitive. I think it's predicted that Group B will be the group of death, because I think all 4 of those teams are including my team, Imperial Gaming. All seem to be top caliber teams. So I'm excited to see how that will go, and I hope I'm able to get out of the group stages for Amateur Worlds of Split.
I wish the best of luck to you with that.
Thank you.
So I can
Now,
go ahead and
yeah, go ahead. You can do it.
yeah, so I can go ahead and transition and talk about the Platinum teams, starting with TA Notorious. In the top lane, we have Char. In the jungle, Vice. In the mid lane, we have Soak. In the ADC, we have, I'm going to probably botch this, Bioraoga. And in the support role is Bao. They are coached by Bluechas, and they're playing in the Victoria's Rival Series. Currently, they're 1-2, which may seem like a downer, but the 2 teams that they lost to, I believe one of them is undefeated at 3-0, and the other one's 2-1. So I think as long as they keep it up, things will turn out good for them. Next up, we have TA Sakura. In the top lane, we have Jax. In the jungle, Wolfgang. In the mid, and I'm going to botch this too, we have OVO. Looks like an owl. I'm not sure if he's known as the owl. ADC, you have Noatak. And in support, we have Caddy. They are coached by Basting, and they are playing in the Victoria's Rival Series as well in another group. And they are currently 3-0. So they're currently riding a hot streak and hopefully going to continue that throughout the rest of the season. We have one more plat team in TA Brona's Book Club. In the top lane, we have Brona himself, the team, the titular name here. In the jungle, we have Potter. Mid, Hadio. ADC, we have Dr. Phil. And the support role, we have Cynic. Their sub is Pig Pog Boss Moo, and they are coached by Ulrich. They are going to be playing in the Classic Championship Series. This is one of the teams that is coming out from the tryouts, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they will turn up in the CCS this upcoming split. That is it for our plat teams, and now we're going to transition to the diamond teams. And the first one up is going to be TA Distortion. In the top lane, we have Sam. In the jungle, we have Blender. Mid lane, TF Phage. ADC, we have Zeha. And
Yeah.
in the support, we have Perfect Tempo. They're coached by Bobby. They're playing in the Meta Shift Radon League, currently at 2-3. I have played with Blender before. He's a great guy, and I'm hopefully things kind of look their way as they try to go for a winning record in Meta Shift.
Yeah, I mean they're looking good. Like they had a good showing on Tuesday, and I think if they could stay consistent with that, they got 5 more games I think still to do. So if they close out with those, they have a good contention for that playoff spot. But now, as we round out Diamond, we have our Masters and PG teams coming up. So TA Stratus gonna be joined by top lane is Lee Sin, jungle is Daemon. We have mid at Gingle. ADC is going to be Young Van. Support is Katsuna. Coach is going to be Coach Dom. They're playing in the Phoenix Rising Novice League. They're dominant right now in the group stage. They're 6-2 seed, they're second seed in their group right now. And they're in the upper bracket quarters. And their opponent right now is to be determined, but it's still going to be very exciting to see everything coming out with that. So I am happy that Stratus is going to be going far, and hope they go even farther than where they're at right now. But this is the teams we have been all waiting for. We have
Yes,
Proving Grounds
sir.
teams that will be coming up and will be seen tomorrow and on Tuesday. So excited for that. TA Black, probably one of the more favorited ones that I am seeing in here. They've been a team that's been around at least for a split. Some of them have played longer together too. And the fact that we have Top being routed out by BMD. BMD has been around a very long time. He has been on amateur and academy teams and now is with TA here for this. So I think it's going to be exciting to see him. Jungle is routed up by Castle. Castle, definitely one of our more favorited junglers here. Was also one of my choices, but I decided to go against that. You know, I figured, you know, let's go with bad. Mid is going to be Itaku, if I pronounce that right. ADC is going to be followed by Stain. Support is going to be Sanam, coached by Jiggity. I love the man. He's been really great with a lot of our teams right now, and they will be playing in PG Summer. Again, really glad this team's getting in there. They have had a really good start, obviously, in their Masters League. Obviously, as we highlighted earlier, they won 2 different leagues. So it's just going to be great to see them in there. I know they're going to be ranked a little bit lower out of the 32 teams, but no matter what, it's something that I think they can put a good showing. They're going to get a lot of experience out of this, and that's all I can hope for. You know, if they do well, great. If not, it's experience to go on further. But Now the next one I want to talk about is TA Blaze. TA Blaze, new one, new spicy team right here. Prankuru is going to be our top laner, joined by Jungle, which is Agony and Misery, also known as Slapper. Mid lane is going to be Rockoni 5. Did I pronounce that right? I apologize in advance. ADC is going to be Less. Support is going to be Deity. Going to be coached by Trey. So
Not me, by the way.
Yeah, true. Not you.
I'm not good enough.
You're
Or
too
support.
good. You're too good.
Ah, yeah, true.
You're too good. You're too good. No, don't worry about it. You know, this is our main deity. Not our content creator deity that we have here with us right now.
Let me just slide a tear off my face real quick.
um, so that's something that I love. That definitely here. You're going to be playing in the PG Summer as well. To talk about this team a little bit too. Prankuru definitely was with Grandview. Has played with a couple players that I've seen in the scene. I like that a bunch of those players too have been on amateur teams in PG. So really excited for him to be joining us here. This is actually going to be his first amateur team. So this is going to be exciting to see a young and new player get some screen time and everything. As well as Deity back with us again under Blaze now, but has had that experience with PG last time around with us being on the main team. So I think that is something we're going to be excited to see. As again, we will try to highlight all three teams tomorrow as much as we can, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do all of them. Regardless, we're going to have our last roster coming up here. I am super excited for this team. It's going to be TA Main. We have our top lane being Mabud. Jungle is going to be followed up by Sarcasm. Mid is Rompus. ADC is Psycho with the support of Pseudo. Their coach is Nelv, if I pronounce that right. I apologize. Playing in Proving Ground Summer. So I'm really excited for this team. I don't know about you guys. I mean, this team got ranked 10. In all of it, we won a top 10 team. We're there. So maybe just barely, but you know what? We're still there. How do you guys feel about seeding? I think it's 10, 25, and 27. Do you feel these are pretty accurate, or do you feel that no disrespect to PG and Unified, but do we feel that they've not ranked this as well as we'd like?
Yeah, I think we're ranked a little under than what we should be ranked.
I think it's really tough because I feel like with ranking, there's only so much you can base it out of. You know what I mean? Like, I think for me, it's like, okay, if they're ranked based off of solo queue ranks and they just got the aggregate average of each team and that's how they decide, like, understandable, you know. But other than that, like, it's really tough because I feel like the intangibles that can't be really objectively graded, right? Which is like teamwork and synergy between the champs. That's really hard to tell if the team hasn't played before, right? And so it's kind of tough to see like, hey, are these seeds correct or not? It's like it's tough. And what for me personally sucks about this is that seeding matters a lot in this kind of like format because it really determines one, it determines your matchups because of how like it goes. But two, like you could be shafted with a really hard schedule because seeds were not properly like ranked. So in terms of team ambition, I mean, I feel like people shouldn't be surprised if like, especially with TA Blaze and TA Black, because like, oh yeah, they're lower seeded teams, so they're not gonna do well. But on the other hand, it's like, I think for sure TA Black, like they've played together for a bit, so definitely don't underestimate them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for a lot of these. Like Black again, they've been really good and rising up. Where again, I'm happy that again it's the same team. That no one's changed. Other than again, Jiggity's back again being coach. He has I think taken his team very well, and I hope that in the future with these games coming up that they rise and shine. I mean, honestly, they have a really good crack team, and honestly, I think they can potentially take a couple games against a lot of these teams, in these next couple days. Um, but yeah, I love everything about this. That um, right now we have Team Ambition. Main team is going to be 10 seed against RGB Esports. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's going to be an easy one, no problem here. Mad City will be TA Black going against Team Fish Tackle. This will be a tough one. I feel just because again you're going against Lorem. Lorem's a really good crack top laner, and the fact that Black is going to be going against them with that, I think it could be a little bit maybe an issue for BMD, but that's something that I think he's got that confidence going in because he's had that prior experience and could go very well with it. T8 Blaze, I feel this one's been really underseeded too, but they are going to go against Cincinnati Fear. Cincinnati Fear, I think, is going to be a little tough for them to go against too. But I think again, having that confidence, having that pride into this team that's been together right now, I think that's something that they can just play through each other, round out everything, and potentially get a win here with this. So I'm excited for these 3 games tomorrow. But I do want to highlight a little bit more about the main team. We do have Psycho and Pseudo together. They've worked with a couple teams before. They've been on Supernova, they've been on Wildcard. They've been a strong duo too. So the fact that they have history there makes me very excited for this game tomorrow. And I would love to see them kind of just pop off together. Makes me always happy when I see a duo that's played together come out strong together. Another one is Mahmoud is still currently at Winthrop, and Winthrop's been one of those universities that have been known in the challenger scene, or I should say the collegiate scene, very well. I got to see them live actually at ISU for Rebel Esports' was it 66 Games event, and I know they're a good team. And the fact that they've been still around, they're in UPL a lot. They're always trying to get through with PG, but obviously it's summer season, so we only see a couple teams here from universities being in there, but a lot of their teams are just letting their players go on to other ones to branch out, still have that experience and everything. So excited to still see this. So really would love to watch how again, I don't think it's an easy clap. I never like to say that for teams, but I have very high confidence in this main team for tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I do believe the main team's gonna be, or the PG event is gonna be happening tomorrow and the day after at 6 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. CST. Do you know when TA main and all the other teams are playing? Are they all playing tomorrow as well?
I believe they're playing both days, and these are at least the first game that we'll see essentially from
Yeah.
them. So
So if I'm not mistaken, the first round of games is tomorrow at. Am I looking at the time correctly? Is it 5 o'clock? 6 p.m. Eastern.
6 Eastern,
Yeah.
5 Central. I put Central because I'm
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah, I'm Central as well, and I believe round 2 will actually happen shortly after, an hour later. So it'll be 2 games tomorrow, and seeding. I mean, the gate who they're going to go up against, I think, is dependent on who wins and who loses. So
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. I think 3 games from each team tomorrow, and then 2 on Tuesday is usually how they've done it. So
reversed for this time. It'll be 2
okay.
on Monday and a 3 on Tuesday.
So that's something that will be nice to see again. I mean, just again, 3 teams in here compared to before of only having one. It's just tremendous showing, I think, for TA, just because it shows they've grown as an org. They've gotten plenty of good players here, and I just love to see them, come out with just more experience with this. So whether they stay with TA or if they go to a different team, heaven forbid they
Yeah.
do. Uh,
Yeah, I think the dream
but
is that that our teams win and that they face against each other. Because eventually, if you win all your games, you're eventually going to face off the other winners. So I think the dream is to have a civil war somewhere down the road here.
Exactly. And that's where I think the big thing right now is we're excited for summer content. We've been talking about PG summer right now, and I mean, you could highlight what we're going to be talking about here, Deity. I think it's one of those nice things that TA is kind of stepping up with their game.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to get to the next level in terms of content and just social media. So we're planning to broadcast way more content with our PG teams and just about everyone else. We're planning to post more consistently on our Twitter, and we actually already have an Instagram. Stay tuned to see that. We're also planning to post on what's it called? TikTok as well. And like we're planning to just grow our community a lot more and hopefully get a lot of things rolling. Um
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I think we've gotten some good clips. Obviously, everyone's going to have some good content, I think, throughout these games coming up with this week, any of the future ones between the bunch of teams we have announced here and the fact that I'd like to see more highlights. I mean, we've seen some great plays out of everyone and just great work out of these teams, previously with Winter, and I'd love to see more of that praise and response shown here with Summer.
for sure. And to end things off here, we have a very special picture of one of the most active members of TA here, Jason Crypt 5. He's moving back to Hong Kong for the summer, but we're sad to see him go. And as Emma would like to say, Jason is stinky.
Very stinky. But yes, sad to see that you're moving back there, but you know what? That's fine. We hope and wish you the best, man. And yeah, I'm happy that you're doing what you want, I think, at this point. So but without further ado, though, I want to thank everyone here for joining us tonight. We have, I think, a great showing for PG tomorrow. A lot of good teams coming out for TA right now, and the fact that, again, everyone's taking the time to stay with us here. We, again, appreciate that. I want to thank my two lovely hosts with me here, Manatsu and Deity, joining me, and I know we hope Moose will get better so we can have him for next time and everything. But yeah, I'm excited for the next ones that's going to be coming up. Do you want to remind everyone when the next one's going to be coming out, Deity?
Yeah, we're currently looking at 2 weeks from now, Sunday, so June 5th. Please stay tuned for that. We're going to be covering Gold, Amateur Worlds, Plat Amateur Worlds, and we're going to be going over like PG results and predictions we'll have in the future. I do believe that is all, unless we forgot to cover something, Giga.
No, that's pretty much it. Without further ado, again, thanks for joining us, guys and ladies and everyone else. I think it's great that we're revitalizing the podcast again, and yeah, we will see you guys on June 5th, and come out tomorrow for those PG games.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you guys soon.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.